Bhagavad Gita is a book of mankind's collected experience of and answers to life's most basic questions. Who I am, from where do I come, what is my purpose and destiny, and most practically, how do I find happiness? These podcasts originate in the lectures of Neil Bhatt, a disciple of Swami Chinmayananda. They are presented here in 20 to 30-minute segments, each covering 3 of the Gita's 701 verses. Welcome to Gita Wisdom for Daily Living.
So we have been discussing chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshan, the yoga of the revelation of cosmic form. So we have seen in the beginning verses that Arjuna said, I have learned everything that you have taught so far and my delusion is gone. So I'm not deluded as I was before about my duties, what I should be doing right now. And also you clarified that I'm not this mortal being, so my delusion is gone. And you explained in detail your glories. In other words, we have seen the one in many. Bhagavan has been hammering this point on us that everything is in him and he is in everything, in every being. Because there is no separation between the Supreme Self and the limited self that we feel ourselves are. So we consider ourselves to be conscious beings. Our consciousness is conditioned by our minds, intellects, and bodies. So we are conditioned consciousness. Is similar to this room space which is conditioned by walls, floor, and ceiling. And the space outside is universal space. These two were never separated. These two can be seen from 2 different perspectives. When I am in the room, I see that the space is in the room. Because I can see the space here, we are in the room. If there are too many people, the space is too little. If there are too few people, this is too big a room for 5 people. So we are conditioned by our perception of the space, which is not really the perception of the space. It's actually perception of the conditioning, the walls, floor, and ceiling. When I'm describing the size of the room, what I'm saying is how far the walls are apart from each other, how far the floor is from ceiling, but I see it as a space. If I'm standing outside and looking inside, I see that the room is in this space. There's space here before, space here right now, and space will be here when this building will not be there. But for us to see both perspectives at the same time is difficult. We can see one or the other. So Bhagavan said to Arjuna that all beings are in me and I am in them. And then he said, even they are not in me. In reality, even they are not in me. So Arjuna said, my delusion is gone. And then you demonstrated at my request. Give me some example. In what different form should I worship you? And you gave me the various examples that you can see in the world which you live in. So anytime I see excellence, anytime I see brilliance, once I consider that to be my presence. So in this room, somebody wants to prove the electricity is on. I called Dominion Virginia Power and said, there is no electricity in my building. Is the light on? I said, yeah, lights are on, but there is no electricity. He said, that cannot be. Lights are the manifestation of the electricity. So if the power is on, electricity is there. So Bhagavan had given him this indications of how to recognize his presence in this world. So for us to see Bhagavan's presence, Bhagavan said, see my presence in all things and beings in this manner and you will be able to recognize my presence. Now Arjuna said, well, that's well and good, but I'm not really satisfied with that reason. I want to see the Almighty God, Almighty Self, Supreme Self, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient in one vision. In other words, I want to see all in one. We have seen one in many, I want to see many in one. And that is only if you think that I'm capable of seeing that. There are things we see in this world, we are limited by our vision. In other words, I cannot see all the things which are in the nature. I understand nature, but I have a very limited viewpoint. So therefore he said, if it is possible for me to see, I would like to see that. And Swamiji says that any request from a sincere student, teacher just cannot ignore. So Bhagavan said, I will show you that. So the verse 5 starts with says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Pasyame Partha Rupani Satasaha Atha Sahasrasaha. Okay, if that's what you wanted, see my forms in hundreds and thousands. We probably would have said millions and billions of forms. In this world, we see the name and form. We see various forms. We see a little bit of a nature we understand. But every time you turn on that nature channel or discovery channel, and there are these fantastic animals and creatures and birds, my mind gets boggled because we have not even imagined that. So even this nature which is finite, the manifest roop of Bhagavan is finite. It can be seen. But even that finite form is infinite for us because of our limitations of our senses, limitations of our ability. So before the telescope was invented, our understanding of cosmos was limited. Then Galileo invented telescope, a little more understanding. He was awed by what he saw. But then we came all the way up to the Hubble telescope. And we can see galaxies far, and that's what we thought that, we thought only this many galaxies. There are billions and billions of galaxies and stars. And now we have James Webb's telescope. That even boggles our mind and more. There are things which we have not thought about. We can see. But after saying all that, what we are seeing is the finite universe. It all depends on our vision of what capabilities we have. So Bhagavan said, Pasyame Partha Rupani Satasaha Atha Sahasrasaha, in the thousands and hundreds of forms. The infinite forms from your perspective. Even though they may be finite, from the universal perspective for you, they're infinite. But you can see whatever you would like to see. Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Akrutini Cha. Various types of divine manifestations, Nana Varna of different colors, and Akruti, different forms. So our world is made up of names and forms and colors. And even though there are only 3 colors which create this world of, magnificent panorama of colors, but we see them as infinite colors. So this finite manifestation, as we have learned in Bhagavad Gita so far, is because of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, only 3 gunas. Prakriti's basic 3 constituent parts are Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. But these 3 in permutation, combination create this world of variety, world of plurality, which is infinite from our perspective. So Bhagavan said, see various forms, various colors, in thousands, hundreds and thousands, millions and billions of them. And what you would see, you should pay attention to that. I went to see one of those 360-degree presentations. It was at 9/11 Museum. And you're always trying to figure out whether I'm missing anything because it's all around you. So you see something here, so maybe I'm missing out what's happening on this side. Maybe I'm missing out. So therefore then you have to focus your attention to something which you really want to see. In the previous chapters, Bhagavan has talked about Vasus and Rudras and Adityas and Maruts, all the natural forces and deities. So Bhagavan said, pay attention to them. Pasya Adityan Vasuhu Rudran Asvino Marutah Tatha. I had just given you an example of one among many there. Vishnu among Adityas, among Adityam Vishnu, among Marutsam Marichi. But he said, now you will see all of them, all at the same time. See all of them. So see all the Adityas, Vasu, Rudra, Asvino, Marutah Tatha, Bahuni Adrushta Purvani. Some of them you have never seen them before. Pasya Ascharyani Bharata. And so there are some surprises for you. Ascharya in Gujarati is surprise. Even though it's here said, see with wonder. But Ascharya is surprise. You get surprised when you see something which you have not seen before and not expected before. So Vasu, Aditya, Rudra are expected. Bhagavan said you expect them to see because you know about them, you'll see them. But also you will see something which you have not seen before, never thought about before. So that will surprise you. And Swamiji points out that all these terms are already discussed in last chapter. Some of you probably were not there when we discussed last chapter. So we have seen in last chapter that there are 12 Adityas, basically related to 12 hours in a day. Aditi sons are Adityas, Diti sons are Daityas. That's well. Kashyap received 2 wives. One was Diti, one was Aditi. Aditi sons are Adityas, good people. Diti sons are Daityas, but they are basically step brothers, Daityas and Adityas. But Adityas basically from philosophical perspective are related to the 12 hours of the day. Sun is illuminating those 12 hours. So you can say the 12 aspects of sun during a day, Adityas. Then we saw Vasuhu, the 8 Vasus we discussed. They are the presiding deities of seasons. In India we have 6 seasons. Here we have only 4. India we have 6. Then 2 internal seasons we have. Joys and sorrows. Now they actually predominate those seasons outside. It may be spring outside, everything wonderful, everybody's enjoying, but my internal season is of sorrow. I won't be able to enjoy that season outside. Season outside may be miserable, but I am really happy about something. I will enjoy that season. If there's snowing outside, 3 feet of snow outside my door, normally I'll complain, but if I'm really happy about something, I will enjoy the snow. The Bhagavan said, 8 Vasus, 6 external seasons to internal seasons. You see all of them. And then Rudras. Rudras are the deities of destruction. Something which is created has to be destroyed. We had been using this refrigerator for a long time and it broke down. Obviously, first day you see it's not working, you are really upset. But now I'm very happy that the old refrigerator is gone, we have brand new refrigerator. It's more convenient, it has all the new features. So you have to have destruction to have some new creation. So the Rudras are in charge of destruction, creative destruction, to make a room for the new creation. Asvino Marutah Tatha. Swamiji points out Asvino are the only new term added here in this verse, which we have not discussed in last chapter. So Asvino are the 2 Aswini Kumars. Anybody who have familiarity with Surat, we have Aswini Kumar temple on the river bank. Aswini Kumars were the physicians. Devas physicians. They're twins. And as the story goes, that they want to learn something from Dadichi Rishi. In Dadichi Rishi, whatever the Puranic story goes, they had to offer their head to Dadichi Rishi. And they implanted horse heads. So they horse-headed to Aswini Kumara. But they are basically also representing philosophically day and night, dawn and dusk. And Marutah Tatha, Marut, the wind god, deities of the air in motion. So storm, breeze, you will see all of them there. Bahuni Adrushta Purvani, and many things you have not seen before. Pasya Ascharyani Bharata, they will surprise you. Iha ekastham jagat krishnam pasya adya sacharacharam. You are going to see all that concentrated in one location. So right now the world of plurality, the things are apart from each other. I am here, you are there, this building is here, other building is there, on the other side. So we are separated by space. You and I are separated by space because there is space in between. If you take the space out, there is no plurality. We'll all be lumped into one big mass of matter. So this space which we conceive is not because we are seeing the space. We are seeing 2 things in 2 different locations. The intervening nothingness, we see that as space. So Bhagavan said that you will see all of them in one location. That means there won't be any space. Space will be wiped out from your perception. If we wipe out the space from this universe, actually Einstein says space is a thing. Previously we thought space is nothingness, empty stage. Einstein says space is a thing and therefore it warps and creates gravity. So let's say it's a thing, and we take that thing out of this universe, and all the matter which we know, the 4% of the matter in the universe is visible, 96% not visible to us. It will all become one big lump. Iha ekastham jagat krutnam. Everything that you see in the manifest world, you will see in one location. Pashya adya, right now, sa chara acharam. This term is used to include everything. Nothing is left behind. Chara and achara, moving and non-moving, sentient, insentient. You will see all of them located in one location without differentiating each other by space. Mama dehe gudakesha. And where would you see it? In my own body. You focus on me and you will see the entire universe centered into me. Yacha anya drastum ichchasi. And also see whatever else you wanted to see. All we want to see in life is what? Our future. I get a magazine Sathi from South Carolina. There is a weekend Rasi Bhavishya. I don't see anything in Sathi, but I do open that Sathi and look at that weekend Rasi Bhavishya. Because even though I know it's futile, it's not worth wasting time, but I will invariably see it. Because we are programmed to think about future. We don't worry about present, we worry about past, we want to see future. So Bhagavan said, anything else you want to see. Now, what was on Arjuna's mind? What will happen in this war? If you want to see that, you will see that too. Because past, present and future are separated by events. Just as things are separated by space, past and present are separated by events. My father lived in 1929. That's a different time than my time. So we are separated from time. So the two events create time in between. The nothingness between two events, I see as time. Nothingness between two things, I see as space. But one said everything will be all at once. Past, present, future will be all in one place. All things being of the past, of the future, all the events of the past, of the future will be all there. This is more like this quantum world, that it's a block universe. There is no time which is flowing. Everything is there. You're slicing the time as per your perspective. So Bhagavan said, you see all of that. However, natumam sakyase drastum ena eva swachaksusa. The way you are seeing the world from your eyes in the sense, the point of perspective that I have to see this world. From my birth, I was trained to see the differences between things and beings and events. So we learn how to live in this world by learning differences. We differentiate table from chair, because chair doesn't look like table. So difference is our tool to live in this world. That, as long as you keep it, Bhagavan said, you will have difficulty seeing this. You have to change this perspective and start seeing this unity in it. Divyam dadami te chakso. So I'm going to give you a different point of perspective. Then you will be able to see it. I will give you a point of perspective which you will start seeing these things happening all at the same time, everything existing at the same time in the same location. Which is something like sometimes, there are the riddles and say, can you see man in it or lion in it? First time you see it, you see something else. And then you focus on where somebody told you that there could be a man in it. You start seeing a man in it. Because you change the way you look at that picture. Bhagavan is doing exactly the same thing to Arjuna and say, you see this world from your individual perspective. You are an island by yourself in this universe, and the world is out there as something else. The dualistic view. I will give you a vision where you see everything as one. But Bhagavan still keeps a qualifier there that Arjuna still sees himself different from this universe. So that duality still remains for Arjuna to see this. Just like we want to see Bhagavan and still want to remain nilbhat, which we have learned in Vedanta is not really possible. So we'll stop right here. If you find this podcast helpful, please support it by donating any amount by going to the episode's website at neilbhatt.podbean.com or at chinmayarichmond.org. Thank you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.